Hey guys, so we're back with the Honda here. We got our head. I went back and picked it up from Rogers Engine Rebuilding, and we got her all fixed up. He ordered all the guides, further disassembled the head. Only found 2 guides on the intake that really constituted replacement. The intakes were really close, within a half a thousandth or something. So he changed 2 of those. Couldn't really justify changing the rest of them, but the exhaust, however, were all, quite loose. So I got all new exhaust guides. Of course, we got all new valve seals. He touched up all the valves and, valve seats. I got that all taken care of, pressure checked the head. And everything's good to go. So that's what it looks like once we got it back. And once he was a little less nervous, not being on camera. Head's nice and straight. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna assemble this head. Gonna get the cam and stuff back in and get back to where we were. Get it put back together and, fingers crossed, everything should be good. I don't see why it wouldn't. So we'll get our cam slid back in here. We'll give her a little shot of lube first. Yeah, totally missed the hole there. We'll get these cam journals slicked up a little bit. Now, where is the old thumbstick? There she is. Anybody remember what way it goes? Let's see, it should go this way, right? If not, it goes the other way. Right, Mrs. O?
I guess so.
Yeah. Disagree. Again.
Sure.
Yeah, you're right.
You're right. You're always right.
Ah! Good woman. Alright, so there it is. So we'll throw a little lube up here on the lobes where we got her off. Oh, what else we got? We got these little fellas, these little springs. These are for our VTEC. It's for our VTEC. Our VTEC rocker arms. I don't remember the actual technical name for them. Back in the olden days, on the old Hondas, they used to call them lost motion assemblies, if I remember correctly. But basically, it just holds that 3rd rocker arm there. Keeps her steady. Here, get everything moved up here. Well, we can. Stuff's gooey. Oh man, we're right next to the dinger. People are going to be unsubscribing quicker now. Okay, there we go. Now, what do we got? I need to find a new O-ring for the bearing end cap. I need to get us a seal. I'll see what I can find. So I found an O-ring in the, whatever the heck I do with that cap. Where'd it go? I must have wandered off with it. I did. As I was saying, I found an O-ring in the head gasket set. Got taken, use some of this. Got a little bit of parts cleaner on it. Make sure that's good and dry before we go and stick that little guy on there. Okay, let's get this show on the road. We'll put that on. We'll lube her up a little bit here. Okay. Yeah, I guess I better get a little more. Stuff just gets all Okay. So we'll get that in, we'll get the cam seal in. Gosh, that's kind of obnoxious. Come on, little fella. Oh, this is a snug little fit back here. Such a precision machined surface. Well, I don't know if that O-ring's gonna work. She's kind of a big one. I mean, and that thing is, seriously guys, I'm not doing that on purpose. Yeah, that O-ring is not gonna fit. I'll tell you that right now. We're gonna end up just destroying it. I think. Let me get a little pocket screwdriver. See if I can- Might end up sticking the old one back on. Yeah, this one just wants to roll. The cross section is just a little too big, I'm afraid. I got the old one right here. So I can grab the old one. I had it sitting out there still, hopefully. This one's going to be too big also, I imagine, just because we had it in a parts washer. Sometimes that makes the old rubber swell up. Let's see. I think this one is going to work. Man, it's got just enough swell to it. Boy. Well, it went in without rolling, so that's good. Oh gosh, you guys can't even see what I'm doing. It'll be fine. If if for some reason that did leak, that's like wicked easy to get to anyways, so no huge deal there. Yeah, let's go ahead and get that torqued. Factory specs. Okay, beautiful. We did get new cam seals with the head gasket kit. Let's see if I can stand this up here for us. Prop this head up a little bit. Oh! Give her some more lube, get this cam seal to go in easier anyways. Oops, totally missed everything. Really not that good with the lube. Okay. Get our cam seal started here. Sometimes this style cam seal doesn't push in all that hard. Okay. I did grab a socket. I don't know if it'll fit over the cam. It does not. Let me grab the next size bigger socket. I do not trust it. I'm not going to walk away. Not that big of a rookie. Okay. Let's see if this one does not fit either. Son of a hoo-ah. Oh, it's almost in all the way. Let me get another socket. Man, that's got to be... I thought for sure that one would fit over the cam, but not quite. Third time's a charm, right? Hey, there we go, that socket fits. So I'm gonna stick that over the cam seal there. Love tap it a little. Alright. She's looking flush all the way around. Absolutely gorgeous. Cam still rotates, that's good. That's always a good sign. So this is our unit. Cam sensor bracket. I guess our inner timing cover, as they call it. How you say inner timing cover. So we'll put this on, we'll snug this up, get the rocker arms on, get our cam pulley on, we'll do the valve adjustment right on the bench, as we usually do with like the Subarus and other overhead cam type engines when we have the heads off them. Wow, there's not going to be a single person left by the end of this video. We're storming out here, bits of rage. So make sure we've got ample lube applied to our lobes, valve tips. So before we put the rocker arms on, remember we got these 4 dowel pins. Oh, of course, no, I don't think we recorded taking this thing apart. We just whipped it apart anyways. We probably ought to make sure that the majority of our rocker arms, or of our cam lobes, are flat. That way we get the least amount of tension when we go to, torque this down. And I think this position here, we're pretty well flat through the center line. Let's see, does one of them gotta go on before the other? Let me tell you what. Everything here looks pretty clean. This is the exhaust side. This is where it'd be nice to have a couple extra hands. We'll see if we can't get this this exhaust rail down in. Not too big a production. I need like one more hand. I need one more hand. Okay. Oh, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get her just with our 2 hands. Mission accomplished. So we'll just kind of zigzag back and forth here. Lightly taking this down. It'll line up on the dowels nice and easy. We'll have to get the torque spec for that. Of course, all our valve adjustment. Unbelievable. Sounds like it's busy in the office today. Just check make sure there's no crud on this. The intake will go on a whole lot easier. So this is our intake rocker shaft, obviously, as noted by the in on the bowl and EX on the exhaust side. So this, I think there's probably lots of videos on the VTEC action of the Hondas, but you know, essentially you have your two standard rocker arms. And then you've got your third one here in the middle that runs on that third lobe on the cam. So when your VTEC kicks in, this pin between this rocker shaft will be driven out with oil pressure and will lock on to these two rocker arms, causing it to ride off the center lobe instead of the two outer lobes. So it gives the cam a little different lift and duration and, you know, geometry from the stock cam. So that's your VTEC. Everybody's talking about their VTEC. That's part of the VTEC on these older ones. So pretty simple system. Honda's got it pretty well perfected. Turn that on just in time to catch a ding dong. Okay, last but certainly not least is our cam pulley. Put a little Loctite on that, and I'm going to go look up the torque specs on the rocker shafts here and everything and get her all torqued down. 17 foot-pounds it says. According to Honda, these are 17 foot-pounds. So we'll go through and make sure we've got all these. And then the cam sprocket is 67 it says, if I remember right. Of course, we'll double check that. I'll go over these a couple times, make sure they're snug, and then we'll go through and do the valve adjustment. Which, like I said, I think we've demonstrated perhaps in our Subaru video. It's going to be the same process. Well, there we are, 17 foot-pounds. It's not that tight, but must be tight enough. I'll grab my sprocket holder. I'm going to get that snugged up because we don't want to leave that loose. That'd be catastrophic. Then we've got this little rubber that I took off the head. It goes into the engine cover here, or the timing cover. Get that put back in there. Some of this rubber stuff you got to look for before it hits the parts washer, because you get in the parts washer and all of a sudden that thing's, you know, 4 times the size it's supposed to be. Alright, so the valve specs are 8 to 9 thousandths intake, 11 to 13 exhaust. I took and propped the head up here on a couple blocks so the valves can open. So we are dealing with cylinders 4, 5, and 6. The way that we're looking at it. So on your cam here, it's got numbers 1 through 6 on the cam sprocket. Show you that. So you see the numbers, you know, 1 through 6, you know, printed around this cam sprocket. So what we'll do is we'll orient, because if this was in the vehicle, you'd pull the little rubber cover off the timing cover, and you'd rotate the engine over until, you know, the number 1 was it was showing through your little window, which will line up with this. Oops, I'll drop this head, which will line up with this timing mark right here. So once that number 1 was up there, you could adjust the valves on the number 1 cylinder. Then you rotate it, and then the next one up is number 4, and then number 2, then 5, 3, 6. You know, it goes in the firing order. So that's how that works. So we're gonna simplify the process here. I'm going to rotate this. We're going to be starting with number 4. So we can see the intake valve just opened on number 4. So right now, neither one of these rocker arms should be moving here for the number 4. We don't want to see, if we see a movement there, then we're obviously totally wrong. But we're going to get our number 4. It's going to be kind of loaded on us. Number 4 lined up right there. So in theory, all the lobes on our cam should be in a position in which we can adjust our valves here. This was our troubled cylinder. All the valves are a little bit tight from the feel of it. Let me grab a tool for those. Should be this little fella right here. Yep. So we're going to go through, crack these loose. This is exhaust, so we're 11 to 13 it says, so let's just go with a 12. 12 thousandths on the exhaust. Loosen up the center nut here, get us some. That one feels good. Just want a slight bit of drag on it. I think I've mentioned in other videos, you know, this is kind of using a feeler gauge is, it can be different amongst other users as far as what it feels like. It's hard to describe the amount of drag something has. So one way that, you know, is described to me, I think when I was younger was, you know, it feels like it does when you like were to drag it across a magnet. You know, it's got like that little scuff to it. Of course, you know, people argue with that. Well, you know, how many Tesla is your magnet? I don't know, I'm not a scientist, but, you know, common sense. I guess just be consistent. Like that one is looser than my other one that I did. So it's probably within spec, it's probably at the 13. And if you want to check, you can grab a 13, that was on the high end. So you got to kind of fidget it to get it under there. Same thing with our first valve that we did. It fits, but it's snugger than the 12, so I'd say we're within our spec there. Now I'm going to just repeat the process on the intake. And then we'll roll this over till the number 5 lines up with our timing mark, do the number 5 cylinder, roll it to number 6, obviously do the number 6. So that's the process. I'm not going to record the whole thing because that would be pretty mundane. So just thought I'd let you guys know. We'll make sure our water pipe is maybe out of our way enough here. All of our surfaces are clean, the head, block, everything looks good. Let's see if we can't set the head down on here. Like very gently, like a little baby. See if we can find that one dowel pin there. There's one, there's the other. There she is. So I've got our head bolts here, these 12-pointed head bolts, all lubed up, lubed on both sides of the washer and the threads. What I found interesting is, according to Honda, if it has these 12-point headed bolts, you do not need to replace them. They actually have a different torque spec to use if you're reusing the old bolts. I did not know that. I've never seen a manufacturer recommend reusing head bolts on a torque to yield bolt, so kind of something new there. grab a socket for that and we'll start snugging those up. There you go. I think the torque spec was 22 foot-pounds, and then 90 degrees, and then another 90 degrees. And if you're using the old bolts, you stop right there. But with new bolts, you go another 90 degrees. I guess one thing I should have mentioned is something I did before. So there's our torque spec. There's the tightening sequence. You can see you've got a third step using a new bolt. You gotta make sure your timing mark's lined up before you put that head on. Otherwise, if these little guys here in the cylinder 5 are down, well, it could cause some issues. So line up over here on our timing mark. The number 1 is back up for the number 1 cylinder being top dead center, assuming your crank is, you know, where it needs to be, which in our case it is. We know our crank pulley's lined up. So we're gonna go with the 22 foot-pounds in sequence with this wrench. We'll grab our other one for doing the torque angle. So I'm just going to go through and just kind of give them a little bit more than what we had right now, instead of just giving it the beans on one of them. A little bit more even on the load. Okay, so now we'll start with number 1. It was pretty adamant about not going over the spec on the initial torque setting. It says if you do, they want you to back it back out and start over, I guess. Six. 7. There we go. Let me grab the other torque wrench. So it's not that our other torque wrench didn't have the capacity. It's just this one here is a whole lot longer, and I think when we get down to that last 90 degrees, she's gonna be snug, in my opinion. So it's all right. Sequence up there, so we shouldn't be able to goof that up. Oh yeah, they're gonna be super tight because that's only 70. I don't know if I'm gonna have it in my little pea shooters. That's number 2. 3. Ah, 5 more degrees. So number 5. 6. All right, last one. It's kind of an awkward one. Okay, and then now we've just got to do this 2 more times. Wow. Let's see. Oh yeah, pull every thread out of the block. That's 100 foot-pounds, man. I tell you what, that did not feel good. It's making me sweat. Not because it's difficult, but because I'm a little bit nervous about this. Who's that? On which car?
The car you did the building.
Okay, just a minute. Okay, and then for certain, it tells us 90 more degrees for a new bowl. Wow. Well, that's what the directions say, but boy, let me tell you what. That is pretty snug, so let's just see what it feels like. Yeah, baby. That's 75. We did it, 121 foot-pounds. Wow, good night. 122. Jeez, number 3. Come on, little fella. Tell you what, it shouldn't leak, right? That's number 4. It's kind of an awkward angle. Damn. Because the camera's right in my way. It's 45. Yeah, I'm going to have to do something different here. Camera's in my way. More bolts and we're home free. All the stuff I do for you guys trying to work around this camera. We made it. That's your total torque. Tight. Not tiger tight, but tight. All right, guys, well, the head is on. It's torqued down, wicked tight. And I'm at the point now where we've got to stick the valve cover on, the intake, injectors, throttle body, that sort of stuff. Get the timing belt put back on. I did tell the ladies to get it by the end of the day, and it's already after lunch at this point because I had to do a couple other jobs, and I've got a few other things I've got to finish besides this. So with that being said, I'm going to take and put it back together. I do believe we recorded the taking it apart. What's up, Mrs. O?
She had to go again.
Oh, that's all a dog does is pee. Now your little pee machine. So, anyhow, like I said, I guess with all that being said, it does take a tremendous amount of time to move the camera around and get all the other footage and commentate and all that business. So I am gonna have to skip that portion. You did see it come apart, and there's really not much to these. These are super simple engines. You know, I got all new gaskets, got a whole gasket set, so, you know, water manifold and injector O-rings and all that stuff will get replaced when we put it back together. But what I will do, I don't think we showed the timing belt in the last video, because I think we're gonna link a channel, link to that, to the pilot that we did. So it's all pretty run-of-the-mill stuff, but what we really wanna know is if this fixed the problem, which naturally it should have, so I don't doubt that. But we do need to get it together the rest of the way. So I'm gonna turn the camera off and I will turn it back on when we're ready to fire it up, maybe the last couple nuts and bolts parts of it. And I gotta get the oil draining out of here, so all the, you know, any of the junk that fell down in there, whether it's coolant or, you know, brake clean, anything like that, that'll all drain out here in the next few hours. And fill it up with some fresh oil, fresh coolant, cross our fingers, and hope it all works. Dragging these things in faster than we can fix them. I needed to take a moment here, so I'm going back together. Everything's going fine. I will say this, the Felpro kit, so that's the kit we got here, so that's the part number on that, or I guess more so right there, that 26265 PT4. I will say the water manifold gaskets it comes with, I'm not happy with. The paper ones, I usually won't use those. In this instance, we have to. So if you're doing this, get the two water manifold gaskets from Honda. That way there you get the tin, you know, the tin ones. The other gaskets that come with the Felpro kit, I see are all, you know, OE equivalent. You know, we've got multi-layer steel for the plenum. Same thing for the upper plenum. You know, these gaskets here for the intake, those are all steel, but for some reason, the water crossover there, they use just a paper gasket. So I would suggest getting those from Honda. So, gotta get busy. That's what we got out there. It looks like a Ford Escape of some sort. I think that's the third one they've towed in today. Okay, so we're almost back together. It's going together pretty quickly. The other thing I wanted to make a note of, and I remember this from working on my Ridgeline when I did the 100,000 mile service on it, and I did the valve adjustment and stuff. Of course, you have to pull this upper plenum. It does not, the gasket set does not come with this little thin rubber gasket that goes right here in the center of this little plenum cover. And I remember that distinctively because it left me walking home. Because what I did is I pulled my plenum off and I just tossed it out in the parts washer. I was going to clean everything up. I had already ordered the gaskets and I did not realize at that point it did not come with this little rubber one. By the time I hit the parts washer, it ended up being about, you know, 4 inches too long. So I had to get it the next day, whatnot. The one that Felpro gives you is just this one here. So it's metal, just like the OEM one. You know, and that'll sit on there just beautifully, like so. But it does not come with that, so keep that in mind. That's Honda only there. I just got the last nuts and bolts put on it. I've got to get some plastic clips for this. I think some of this crap was missing, the plastic clips, if I remember right. I got to get some for the inner fender down there. I just put everything together. We don't have any coolant in it yet, but I did throw some oil in it. I drained all the old oil out, obviously, new oil filter. Just put everything together. As you guys know, it's always my habit to fire this stuff up prior to filling with coolant, in case you got to tear it all back apart. You know, then we're not messing with coolant. I was just looking it over. I don't see any reason why we can't start it. It's kind of, sometimes when you have to walk away from a project like 75 times, and I think if you look at the clock, it's about 2 minutes to 5. So we're, you know, kind of cutting this one close. I told you I'd have it done. Bought myself an extra half an hour. So, oh, I guess we got to hook the battery up. Clean that terminal off. Positive's pretty nasty, but we'll hook that up. Make sure it runs, fill it up with coolant. Power steering's probably going to whine a little bit. It's going to have a little blast of air in it. that pump totally unhooked. So let me grab some stuff and get the battery terminal cleaned up, and then we'll fire it up. Get you guys set up. Fire in the hole. I'm gonna let the fuel pump prime a couple times here. Oh, scared me to see me jump. Always get them moments on camera. All right. So let's see if we can hear it crank over. It sounds pretty smooth. Get myself.
Did it again.
Sounds good to me. Yeehaw! All right, well, I don't want to let it run too long with no coolant. So I think I better get a little hitch in my giddy up here and get it filled up. Of course, like I said, I've got to get some of the other little cosmetic stuff taken care of. And then we'll warm it up, because that's going to be the true test. I'm going to check the oil and things like that, and then see how it goes.
Did you ever hear the little horn? The guy to pick up his escorts here.
Oh, I didn't hear him come in. See how far Josh out. Sounds like he just doing the last tire right now. It's going to smoke a little bit here as it warms up. And, we got oil and coolant and stuff all over the man inverter there, so it's going to take a little while for that to cook off. We'll let it hit operating temperature here, and it sounds good and smooth. I'm pretty happy with that. Of course, sometimes the camera picks up like really odd, obnoxious sounds. But yeah, just feeling the car and stuff, feels smooth, looks smooth, sounds smooth. We'll let her warm up and see what happens. All right, guys, I think we're all done. I took it for a little toot around town. I grabbed the Veris here, took that, checked for codes, obviously, not running a full drive cycle, so I don't throw any codes. But I was able to look at misfire monitors while I drove it. They all stayed at 0, so that's, big thumbs up, especially when they come in. And, it's got that PO304 and the money lights on and flashing, so definitely defeated that. Let's see. And I guess that's it. This job isn't going to be that expensive. It was a pretty easy job. All the parts were relatively new, so we didn't have to buy much, as far as timing belt, components like that. So all we've got into it is the headset, the head bolts, which come to find out we didn't even need. Which, I feel better about using new ones anyways, but didn't feel good about torquing them things to, umpteen hundred pounds. Yeah, fluid filters, and that's it. Couple plastic clips. I should show you my plastic clip assortment. I got pissed off one day not having any plastic clips around, so I went on Amazon. I think I bought every plastic clip assortment known to man. I've got stacks of plastic clip assortments now, so we're not going to run out. Cause that's frustrating. Cars are held together with freaking plastic clips, so you gotta have a mountain of them. So buy a mountain of them, they're cheap. I got distracted. You know what we could do? Ah, shoot, it's all hot. I was gonna say, everything's 208 degrees right now. Kind of neat to get a after repair compression test, but you know, no misfires. You can hear it when it cranks. It sounds beautiful. So we'll just have to go with that. Proof's in the pudding. It's good, it runs, and she did not need to buy an engine. And to summarize the whole story, I do not feel that it has anything to do with her dealership, or it's just the way it happened to be. They did a timing belt, all of a sudden she doesn't think it runs right. Just luck of the draw, I guess. So we'll leave it at that. Dealer's off the hook. He's not off the hook for the motor mount though, jerk. It's got that all stripped out, and me, I'm a big jerk because I forgot to order the dang thing. So I'm not gonna have it until tomorrow, so she's gonna have to bring it back and blah, blah, blah. So I stuck the old one on there, put the bolt in it, snugged it up, not to factory spec, but to where I thought like, okay, it feels like it's gonna strip, and just left it. It's a 10-minute fix when she comes back, so it is what it is, and we'll leave it at that. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, or you just want to criticize me and the way I work, go ahead and do that below in the comment box. And if you like our channel, click subscribe, and you can check us out Facebook, Google+. That's about it. So remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.